This conference will now be recorded.
Right, good morning. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the Premarket webinar for the morning of Wednesday, the 28th of August. My disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right, okay, we've got I've just had a quick look at these stats for the rest of this week, which are basically all bullish. Sometimes we have a bearish end of the week, and this week is not one of those. And we often have a bullish first of the month, and we've got one of those. I mean, they're not huge, but it's basically 60-65%. Average of 60% for the rest of this week on bullish closes. Okay, let's have a look. We've got a potential double top here. I'm not expecting it to play out. What I'm thinking is going to play out is the bull flag that we're seeing fairly obviously form on NQ here, just under the weekly pivot and the monthly pivot. Looking at RTY, we had a little sell signal that's made target. Very nice move up last week. We've seen a retracement of that. Looks like a bull flag forming. Chances are that's because it is. YM has been consolidating a bit, pretty close to the highs. Has already made a new all-time high on the RTH chart, of course. DAX just powering upwards. ESTX trading along behind the DAX. Both of them above the monthly pivot, although ESTX hasn't converged it yet. RTY is backtesting the monthly pivot at the moment. I'm not expecting that to convert to resistance, probably. YM well over both. NQ is just under double resistance of the weekly pivot and the monthly pivot, and the ES has been struggling with the weekly pivot all week, but is well above the monthly pivot. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Right, looking at ES, we do still have this RSI 5 sell signal brewing on the daily chart, and that may deliver. One thing I'm going to be writing about today, I'm doing a post, I'll be writing about this, which is the SPX ADP chart. I share this on a regular basis. Now, as with anything in technical analysis, there are no absolutes, and this is absolutely not a contender for one of those in any case. But about 50% of the time, when you get a punch above the line like this one, you are at or very close to a short-term high. Now that's only 50% of the time. The other 50% goes to some kind of continuation, either into a retracement later or not into a retracement later. I've had a look as far back as this goes, which is back into about 2010. And it seems pretty consistent. So we may be very close to a high here. And actually, it's a pretty good contender when it gets up to the line here. You can see this one here. All the little red dotted lines are potential highs where we've hit the upper trend line. You can see there were a lot of consolidations after these, at the very least, and some highs. We will see how that goes, but I'm watching that and wondering. So looking at the SPX chart, not at the daily upper band yet, and honestly, it's actually quite some distance away. So we'd need to make a new all-time high with some confidence to reach it. We do have this very nice possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing. Are these 100%? Nope. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 successful ones on this chart and 2 failed. But again, they tend to be a pretty decent indicator. And we've got one brewing here, and I'm wondering about that. All right, looking at the 15-minute chart, no current divergence, but obviously we broke the channel support. Hourly chart, we're still on an RSI 14 sell signal, which I'm still leaning towards making target, but I'm thinking we might go and retest the all-time high before we do that. NDX looks like a bull flag forming, and I think that's most likely because that's exactly what we're seeing here. So now, obviously, the big news we've got today is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is going to report earnings. It's been weighing on the markets. There's some talk it may go and do a very nice earnings, which could really push the market up. We could see that. I think the market does appear to have been waiting for those earnings, so we could well see a boost on that and could well see the retests of more all-time highs, which I think are likely coming here. I'm not sure whether we're going to see that on NDX, but I'm really expecting to see it on SPX. We will see. All right, on the 60-minute chart, we've still got an old RSI 14 sell signal on the hourly chart on NDX, and I'm still wondering about that making target. On Dow, 15-minute no current divergence, still got an old weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed on the hourly chart. We will see how that goes. Daily chart, we've got a possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing as well. All right, looking at IWM. We've got 15-minute chart. We had a sell signal here, which is made target. No, we do have a buy signal at the bottom. RSI 5 buy signal and RSI 14 buy signal. So this is on an RSI 14 buy signal at the moment. And on the hourly chart, no current divergence. And on the daily chart, we haven't had a chance. We'd need another high retest to get RSI 5 divergence. And my feeling is we're probably going to get one. All right, okay, let's have a look at DX. DX has been seeing a bit of a rally here. It's not as much as I was thinking we might get. Kind of looks a bit like a bear flag at the moment, although less so after this little spike up. The 60-minute buy signal has now reached target. ZB, this looks an awful lot like a bull flag forming. Setting up a retest of this high. So I'm leaning towards seeing that next. We will see how that goes. But I think it's possible that could continue up into a retest of this high. We will see how that goes. But falling interest rates are good for bonds, good for bond prices. CL, we saw a bit of a hard fail at monthly pivot so far. We've got a little head and shoulders here, and it's got a target in the 73 area, so I'm watching to see whether that's going to make target. At the moment, we're seeing a rally short of that. But we could just head down to the bottom here, and it does look as though we're going to do exactly that on NG. This could still be an IHS right shoulder, but it's not looking really like it so far. So this is now getting very extended to the right side, and it's gone well below where the ideal right shoulder low would have been, which would have been at about 220. I think this is coming back in for a retest of 2 and could continue down from there. GC, this looks like a flag forming. Take off that trend line, which I was wondering about this morning. I don't know if it's going to get down this low, but the ideal trend line for that would actually be down about the 24.95 area. We'll see how that goes. SI, possible double top here. We've got this larger pattern, but it's not a great pattern, which is broken up. Keeping an open mind on HG, 60-minute sell signal formed intraday yesterday and has made target. We've broken the rising support here. That may be significant, but may well not be. But this could all be a bear flag, of course. I'm leaning more towards the upside here, and I've got the daily charts with a buy signal on them, so I'm leaning towards it. But even if we see a retest of the low, of course, that can be bullish. USD has come down and is testing this rising support here, but I think we've just broken it. Let's just check that. Yeah, we have. So that's no longer support. I was wondering if that might turn back up there. I think we're topping out for a larger retracement here. Although I don't think we're not looking at a major change in direction on the dollar. I don't think the direction is still likely to be down. GBP USD consolidating, might be forming topping pattern. USD JPY still doubtful about it reaching this target down here at about the 141.4 area. So wondering if this is an ABC with a higher high to come. USD CAD turning up a bit, weak 60-minute buy signals reaching the possible near miss target area. Australian dollar broken down over under rising support. Thinking in terms of retracement, nice looking little double top, although it's very small here. A sustained break below the weekly pivot would be looking for about the 67.25 area. NZUSD, possible topping action. KC has gone over my trend line here. This could be a bullish overthrow, and we do have a 60-minute sell signal fixed, and we didn't already have one here. We would have another one which would have just fixed here. SB broken up from the double bottom. Possible 60-minute sell signal is brewing, but I'm still leaning towards this making the targets, which are basically around the 20 area. CC went a little higher, went through my ideal channel trend line, although it was just a theoretical, in case it stops their trend line, really. I don't really have a resistance trend line here at the moment. I'm keeping an open mind. No current divergence. CT, we had a sell signal. Last two failed. This one has made target. We pulled back a bit from breaking up over the double bottom resistance. I'm leaning towards this making the target in the 75.1 to 75.4 area. ZW, 60-minute buy signal fixed, rallying a little. Corn, 60-minute buy signal made target, has rallied a little back to the weekly pivot. Soy, gotta say, overall, I drew this as a double bottom that broke up, and it is a valid one of those, but it's actually been forming like a bear flag. I think this is in probability a bear flag setting up a retest of this low, and I'll probably take the other grains with it. Lumber, nice retracement here, no current divergence, testing the monthly pivot, that's important support, although only support for obviously the rest of this week. Live cattle has broken up over this declining resistance. I think we could well head up here. And could resume the uptrend. Lean hogs has gone higher, no sign of it stopping, no current negative divergence. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions and recap on ES. Okay, we've got a potential double top here. I'm not expecting it to play out. The lean is bullish this week. Everyone's waiting for the NVIDIA earnings today, and we will see how they develop. But on NQ, it looks like we've got a bull flag here, and I think that's what is likely happening here. I think we're going to head back up into this high, and then if we can get some momentum, then it could see a retest of the all-time high. If we can't, then a lower high, perhaps. But ES, I'm thinking, is going to make the retest of the high. We shall see. In terms of RTY, RTY could make that retest, 2024 high that would be. And obviously we've already seen the new all-time high on YM, but likely to see a little higher, and a new high on a new high on Dow, but we haven't seen it on YM yet. Chances are we'll get that on YM as well. All right, my pleasure as always, guys. I'll have everything posted as soon as possible. I'll catch you guys later.